Hey, Jeremy Hood here, founder of Restaurant Results Partners. We help restaurants increase their sales and profits by attracting customers that fuel your growth. And as you may or may not know, we do that by running ads to get people to subscribe to your database. And then we use that database to drive people back into your store. And today, I just want to talk about how you can pre-program a new customer experience. If you think about a time where maybe you bought an expensive gadget or a high-end service, most likely you received some communication for the next couple weeks, maybe showing you use cases or testimonials or making sure you know how to use it. Maybe you received a welcome or a thank you gift in the mail. And there's no reason why you can't do that for your restaurant. And I'll venture to say most restaurants don't do this. So, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. And I'm just going to shout out a couple things that I've seen before that tend to work well, just to kind of get you thinking about how you might be able to do this at your restaurant. So we are, for this client, advertising, and about half of the people that we touch have never been to this restaurant before. So, obviously you want to train your cashiers, your servers to ask this question. And one of the first things that you can do is just make sure they have a good experience when they bring this offer in, because you're spending money trying to get them to come in the door. So you want to maximize your return on investment. You want them to not just come in once and be done. You want them to come in several times throughout the year. So we use this software called MiniChat. They come in with their phone on, and this offers on Facebook Messenger. So, literally the servers or the cashiers can see the person's name. Just start by using the person's name when you address them. That goes a long way. Another thing that you can do is, when you see these come in and you ask them if they've never been there before, and you've confirmed that it's a new customer, let your manager know, whether you just tell them, or if you're full service restaurant, maybe you use a certain color napkin or some kind of place setting to alert the management team that this is a new customer. The manager should go out there and introduce himself, thank them for stopping by, and then maybe towards the end of their meal, you could stop by with a comment card. This is pretty old school, but you can literally make this on a Google sheet and have someone print it out. But ask them for feedback. How could you do better? What do they like the most? What do they like least? It doesn't have to be super complicated. You can see here they were collecting a lot of contact information, because we want to be able to continue to communicate with them. With this system here, we've already got that contact information. So, maybe it looks like you could do something a little more simple, just asking them for feedback. Just to show them that you actually care about what they think, and people will value that. So, to take it a step further, like I said, we don't want them to just come in once and be done. We want them, especially new customers, if you can get them to come in 2 or 3 times, especially in those first 3 or 4 months, then it becomes a habit, and hopefully, a certain percentage of those people will become regulars. Regulars, there's a lot of studies show are spending like $100 a month with you over the next 5 or 6 years. So they're pretty valuable for any operation. So we pre-program 10 to 12 messages over those first 4 months, about every 10 days, across a mix of channels: email, text, direct messages on Facebook. This way, we're kind of hammering your audience, but they don't feel like it, because they might see an email one day and then 2 weeks later they might see a text. So it's not, in getting overbearing in any given channel. So these emails should be very educational. We like to sprinkle in a couple smaller offers in the beginning, like I said, just to get newer people back in the door a couple times. But eventually those offers tend to go away, and it's just purely educational. Just, anything that you want, your customer to know about your business that maybe is not super obvious. So this first email, we send it 4 days after they receive that first coupon. And the working person's meal deal is this restaurant's #1 seller. So most people like it. So we're going to, give them a buy one, get one coupon on this deal with a 14-day expiration date, just to try to get them in one more time really quickly. And then the next thing is a Facebook message for a free dessert. And again, when people come in with these offers, you need to train your staff to realize like, hey, 1 out of every 2 of these people is probably someone that's only been there once or maybe twice, because about half of these people are new to the restaurant. So, maybe you could get even creative with this, where like say this was a free side order, maybe a free side of fries or whatever, and when they come in and bring it, just upgrade it to a large or something. Just some kind of added benefit that they weren't expecting, just to kind of wow them. So they're already giving away a free dessert here, but anywhere you can sneak in a little surprise that's unexpected, you're just really developing that relationship with these customers and giving them a really awesome experience that, one, hopefully was going to make them come back, and two, maybe they'll tell some people about it. So moving on, as you can see, these offers get smaller and smaller. This restaurant has served breakfast for 25 years or more, and they still have a ton of customers because it's a barbecue restaurant that don't know they sell breakfast. So we wanted to put this message early on in the sequence with a $2 off coupon. So this is probably one of the smallest offers in the beginning. It's just a free drink with the next purchase. So as you can see, each offer kind of gets smaller and smaller, but we're hoping that a new customer might take advantage of at least 2 of those within the first 2 months, just to get them in the door a couple times. We're also, the managers are, introducing themselves, greeting them by name, really trying to have this. It's a built-in customer experience that, if every customer has that same experience, if you're able to train your staff in this way, there's no reason why 10% of the people that claim that offer you can't convert them to regulars. And that's where you're really going to stack incremental revenue throughout the year. Because also, besides this intro sequence, we're sending out 4 to 6 other messages a month with just other promotions that the restaurants have going on. So the more regulars you have, the more they're going to respond to the promotional messages. So hopefully you can kind of see, like, as your database grows, as the amount of regulars in that database grow, the 80-20 rule applies here, where they say, 80% of your sales come from 20% of your customers. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to increase the amount of those 20% fans that just love your product. So you might not expect this from a barbecue restaurant, but they do a lot of wedding caterings. So obviously, a lot of the people on this list aren't going to be getting married anytime soon, but maybe they know people. So again, use this intro sequence to tell your customers anything that is not super obvious, anything that, every aspect about your business, like, you want to educate them here. Another cool thing that we always suggest our clients do is, we call them spirit nights, but basically they're fundraisers for local schools or sports organizations, nonprofits, and it's a great way to develop the relationships without the community. Basically, you agree to donate a portion of sales for a certain period of time or one night back to that organization, and then they promote it to their audience. So it really builds up a lot of goodwill between you and the community. And if you do this on one of your busier nights, like a Friday night, it really does bring a lot of people in if you do your job and they do their job as well. All right, again, just educating the customer. Besides that working person's meal we talked about earlier, their pork sandwich with coleslaw on top, sort of Carolina style, they say. Again, number one seller, just educating the customer about that. And no offer here, just give them a quick short little burst of information about it, and then a call to action to order it now from their website. So at this point, we're on step 8. Maybe we're 2.5, 3 months into the sequence. Obviously, some people have unsubscribed by now, but we want to we're trying to sneak in a little surprise that they weren't expecting. So we're going to offer another buy one, get one. So it's another buy one, get one on one of these working person's meals. And like I said, at this point, they've already seen 7 messages from you. So, we just like to reward them for not unsubscribing, basically. And at this point, if they hadn't taken you up on one of those smaller offers, now we have a really strong offer to try to get them back in the door. So this restaurant has daily specials. Obviously, we recommend having daily specials for at least every weekday, or Sunday through Thursday. It doesn't really matter a whole lot what they are. I mean, you should obviously test to see what resonates with your customer base, but we just want to give different people different reasons to come back and try your restaurant. If there's no specials throughout the week, what reason do they have to come by? So you can see there's one every weekday here, and there's not really an offer on this email. It's just telling them, hey, this is what we have, come check it out. This one, just to kind of give you an idea, you'll have to sort of spin it to apply to your restaurant. But with barbecue, obviously, some people get passionate about different flavors of sauce, and sometimes we like to throw in an email that encourages engagement. So literally, we're just like talking about our different sauces here, and then asking them what's their favorite. And you'd be surprised at it doesn't report it here, but how many people actually reply to this email. And again, it gives you or your manager, whoever's watching these emails, a chance to just develop the relationship with those customers further. Finally, this is the last step in the sequence. We usually like to ask for feedback. So this just points to a simple Google Sheet. You could also host a form on your website, but just, again, like I said earlier, hey, what can we do better? What did you like the most? What did you like the least? And then actually take the time to read their responses. Obviously, if you see one complaint in there, take it with a grain of salt. But if you see 5 or 6 people saying the same thing, maybe you should investigate that and check it out. So, like I said, there's a ton of different ways you can pre-program your new customer experience. But if you don't have one, it doesn't have to be this elaborate. Just put something in place. Make sure that new customers are greeted the same way. They have the same experience every time, just to wow them, get them coming back in the door, get them talking to their friends about it. So hope that helps, and we'll see you on the next one.